Hello everyone, my name is Jaslyn, and here I am going to present my final presentation on the topic on building secure API. What is API? API stands for Application Programming Interface, and it is defined as an intermediate between two devices who are communicating with each other. Suppose we are using web applications like Instagram, Facebook, or any other application. The message packets or the packets which are sent and received by both the devices, and both the devices are said to be using API. so uh, so I will be presenting on what is JWT, its working, its token structure, how email is verified, authenticated and authorized. And after that, we will be giving some answers to the questions asked in the assignment. First, what is JWT? So JWT stands for a JSON Web Tokens, and it is defined as RFC 7519. JWT is basically the internet standard is used for creating data which should be used for securely sending information from one point to another, and it uses a digital signature which is signed by a private key or a public or a private key, and they uses algorithms like HMAC, RSA or ECDSA. The signature and encryptions in JSONs are optional, and the JWT are basically used to create the tokens for the web application, and its main use is in authorizing the user and for exchanging the information. This is how JWT works. The application client requests the authorization from the authorization server through OpenID Connect compliant web application and endpoint. When the client is authorized, the authorization server provides access token to the client, which is further used by the client to access the protected information or resource like the API. This is basically the overview of the JWT working and how it works. This is a three-way process, and this is the overview of a JWT debugger, which has the following fields, that is encoder and a decoder. In encoder we basically paste a token, and the decoder is used to decode the token, and from where we can get the information like a header, payload and the signature. The token structure of the JWT is as shown in the screenshot is header, the signature and the payload. The header mainly consists of two parts, that is type of a token and the algorithm used. The type of a token is basically the JWT, and the algorithm used can be HMAC, SHA or RSA. The header the payload basically contains the claims which has the information about the user and its data, and the signature is used in order to create the signature we need. And in order to create the signature, what we need is basically the encoded header, the encoded payload, a secret algorithm used in the header and the signature. So this was basically the structure of the JWT, and this is the overview of a JWT authentication token structure. So this is divided into three parts: first, second and the third. So this is the overview of the JWT authentication token bearer with a variable as a student ID, first name, the last name, username, password and the token. The values are these variables are inputted with the information of a get and the set, and these values are inputted in the code, which are then later on retrieved using the Postman. So this is the overview of the Postman. Here this is generally the overview of the Postman, and here whenever we post the command of the authentication with the username and the password as a raw data in the body of the Postman, we will get the information in the body as the output. Using the token, we will get the information of the output, like the first name, the last name, the username, the password, and the token, whichever we have inputted. So this is the basically the working of the JWT. Next we will be reviewing the what is email verification, the authentication, and the authorization. So email verification by the identity is like how to verify the user by the identity and to send the email. How to use the identity to set up infrastructure regarding the authentication process, and it is also used to store the users, the claims, the database, and how identity provides us to easily access method regarding signing in and creating users. So email has been sent and verified. So basically for verification of the email by the user, we have created the classes like email verification, the home controller CS class, the startups.cs class. So these are the coding for the classes, and whenever we try to go to the login page, so it will redirect us to the home login path. So these are my input, the sender email and the name. So whenever we go to the login page and with the credentials test and test test, it will automatically redirect and we try to log in, it will automatically redirect us to the home page, because we have the user has finally verified. So like the email has been finally verified, and it redirects us to the home page. And next is the authentication. So authentication basically checks the authorization and how to use the claims and built-in policies to create the authorization scenarios. So for this one also we have created the home controller.cs class, custom required claims.cs class, and startup.cs class. So these are the codes for that one. And in here we have used the home pages and the secret pages. So whenever we try to go to the home pages and we check the cookies at the grandmas.cookies, and we try to go to the secret page. So after going to the secret page, it will automatically redirect us to home to the secret page. And for the authorization is used to place the authorization request. So authorization cannot be done without the authentication. So first step is to authenticate the user and then the authorization. So for this one also we have created the classes claim transformation.cs class and startup.cs class, operations controller.cs class, and we have created the pages, index, and the home page. So when we try to log in the home page with the date of birth, user date of birth, it authenticate the with the claim date of birth. So it authenticated the user, and first it verified the user, then it authenticate, and then after verifying authenticating the user with the date of birth, it basically authorize the user using the input values. So the next is like for the final project, the security equations. The company is asking you to act as a consultant on a project, so they have some questions that they hope you can answer. So the first one is to how can we transfer personal data securely within the network, so using FTP, peer-to-peer networking, and the FileZilla. So the FTP is like the most basic most common file transfer protocol used to protocol used in FTP, and we can also use peer-to-peer networking and the Zilla in order to send files securely within the network. And the security protocol best for transferring personal files are SFTP, FTPS and HTTPS. So SFTP allows the organization to move data over a secure shell, that is SSH, and data stream, which provides the great security over FTP. And the FTPS known as the FTP over SSL or TLS, and this is basically used by the businesses employees for sending and transferring the files internally or externally in the company. And the HTTPS is a hypertext transfer protocol secured one, and is for use for sending the data or the information over the internet securely. The next is can we encode and encrypt image? Yes, we can encode and encrypt the image. That is, encoding is used to basically maintain the data usability, and to maintain the confidentiality we need the encryption of the data, which is used to encrypt the plain text to the ciphertext or the encoded text, which is hard to understand by any person or the system without the key. So without the key, if there is no key, so we the person or the system would not be able to understand the information. The next is our database cannot be moved from the site, and we need to able to access it externally using a secure API. So explain the architecture of the secure API. So in order to explain the architecture, so the architecture contains the tokens, the encryptions and the signatures. The tokens structure of the JWTs consist of a header, signature and a payloads, and headers basically consist of two parts, the token and the algorithms used. The token is basically the JSON, and the algorithms are like HMAC, SH or RSA. And the second one is encryption. So in order to encrypt the data, we need to do the encryption of the data of the plain text with the key, and that key should not be publicly available to the users or any other person. Only the authorized user or the person should be accessible with the key. And the signature is to create the signature we need encoded header, encoded payload, a secret algorithm that is used in header and to sign it. Next is to recommend a secure framework for coding and API. The JSON tokens are used to secure framework and for coding and API, and JSONs are also the data interchange format is used to while transferring data between the locations. In order to store the data in many locations, we can use the snapshot method, in which different snapshots of the data we can take, and we can store the data in the different locations, like in the database, like on site and off site. Off sites like in the cloud database also, which is secured. And the ethical concerns related to the transmission of a personal data are the inappropriate data usage, the accuracy and the completeness by when collecting the data about a person or a person by the technology, that is corporations are included. So I have attached the YouTube and the GitHub link in the presentation. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you.